Coming up on this episode of Bro, Do You Even Talk Pinball, we've got new pinball machines from Spooky Pinball. We're going to talk about that. We've got also, everybody is clamoring for this, GTF, Galactic Tank Force Signature Edition, and the 007 Cheaters Club. All that and more coming right up.
Jackpot! I need a ramp. I need a loop. I want targets I can hit. I need the scoop. I need a double super jackpot in my life. That's right.
And now, the Hall & Oates of pinball podcasting, Nick Lane and Kevin Manny of Buffalo Pinball. Whoa, boom shakalaka! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 82 of Bro, Do You Even Talk Pinball for December 9th, 2023. I'm Kevin, that's Nick. Hi, Nick.
Hey, I'm Nick.
Hi. It's your boy, Nick. Smash the like and subscribe, do all the things, right? We got to say that stuff. Leave a comment down below. Yeah, I think we did it. How was your Thanksgiving, Nick?
Oh, it was absolutely wonderful. Thank you for asking, Kevin. Absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah, get to spend time with the fam.
I love eating food. I think that's important that people know that about me.
It's really the
depth
best
of my
holiday,
character.
if you think about it. It's like, let's just get together and eat a bunch. Okay? Sounds good.
That's right.
No other pretense, just eating.
That's right. All right. Now for the small talk, let's jump into it.
All right, yeah. So we got some partners to thank, and we got some giveaways to give away. So why don't I do the partners, and then you can talk about the giveaways. You want to do it that way?
Oh yeah.
All right. So kicking it off, thank you to our sponsors, Pin Stadium Lights, our premier partner, pinstadium.com. Use coupon code Buffalo to save 10% on their incredible lighting kits to make your pinball machines look great with their app-controlled lighting system, using your iOS or Android app. Bunch of different products. Find the ones that fit your needs the best over at pinstadium.com. LED lights at Comet Pinball. If you want to buy a pinball machine, go to flipnoutpinball.com. Zach will take care of you. If you're looking for a cool pinball charity to support, check out spinnerspinball.org. Our friend Joe Said over at Pinball EDU runs a cool inclusive arcade in Maryland. Titan Pinball, titanpinball.com. Save 10% with coupon code Buffalo on all your competition rings over there. Throw the standard rubber rings in the trash and get yourself some Titan Pinball competition rings. Pinside.com, the place to go to find all your cheating methods for your pinball machines. You can share the ways that you cheat with your friends over at pinside.com. And Multimorphic and Jersey Jack Pinball, thank y'all for your support. Nick, why don't you talk about our giveaways?
Happy to do so. So we want to give a shout out and thanks to Flippin' Out Pinball, who are going to be doing not one, but two giveaways for this episode. So everybody who's watching live has a chance to win that. Kevin will tell you how after I'm done announcing what we have to give away. But Zach from Flippin' Out Pinball, the good guy he is, he's giving away a Bond Premium Translite. And if you're international, you can still win this. You just got to cover the international shipping. So Zach will work on you with that. And then we're also giving away from Stern a Jurassic Park player mat. So Kevin, how can they win these fantastic prizes?
So our Twitch viewers are eligible. So if you're watching on YouTube, jump over to the Twitch chat and type #win in the chat, and then we will pick a winner later in the show. One winner for the Jurassic Park mat and the other for the 007 Premium Edition Translate. It's the You Only Live Twice version. So if you want to turn your Dr. No into a You Only Live Twice, you can go ahead and do that by winning this 007 Premium Translate, thanks to Flippin' Out Pinball.
You don't have that game, hang it on the wall, frame it, make it look nice, turn it into a little back blocks for your game room. So
yeah, like those ones over there. I got some.
Somehow that player mat is valued at $90 from Stern, which seems egregious, but that's a great giveaway from Zach. So he's not coming up with the pricing on this. We really appreciate what he's doing. I asked for one giveaway, he gave two. So there you go. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everybody.
In the spirit of the holidays, Zach is given. He's given. All right, it's time for some news. Let's have our friend Tim introduce us.
Here's the tip. It's the latest pinball news. So hot, it's on fire.
All right, coming in hot with spooky.
Hold on,
pinballs.
Kevin. Hold on.
What?
Before we get to that, we gotta address the elephant in the room.
What's that?
Some devastating news came in the day before Thanksgiving, and that was that we learned that Hall had filed a lawsuit against Oates.
It's true.
Okay. So just an update on that from a couple days ago. This really hit home for me and Kevin, who are the brand ourselves as the Hall and Oates of pinball podcasting. Because if these two guys can't make it and get along together, what chance do we have, Kevin? And I'm I'm shaken up. Apparently, Daryl Hall is suing John Oates and arguing in arbitration that he can't sell his share of Hall and Oates business partnership without Hall's permission. So we always knew that Oates maybe was on a short leash from Daryl Hall, and it looks like he broke loose a little bit. Apparently, Hall has accused Oates of blindsiding him and betraying him. This is from the AP News.
Yeah.
Betraying him, saying their relationship and his trust in Oates have deteriorated. This is after they're more than half a century together. Wow. All right. Oates has said he is deeply hurt that Hall is making quote inflammatory, outlandish, and inaccurate statements about him. So it's just, it's a tough pill to swallow. So you ask how my Thanksgiving was. I tried to put on a brave face in the beginning of this episode and say it was good, but really this was in the background the whole time and wasn't as good as it could be. So we can continue on with the show.
You were the first person I thought of when the news broke, and I'm sure you heard it from a lot of people. Yeah,
I had a lot of people reach out to me, so I appreciate the concern. Yeah.
And here's my method of engaging the audience. I didn't have the flipping out giveaway live, so now you all have to type win again, and our engagement metrics are going to go way up. So in the Twitch chat, type #win, and then you'll win. See, we have 0 entries right now. So
there you go. You got those keyboards warmed up.
That's
before.
Right.
So.
All right, there they go. There we go. We're whoo.
Look at that. Oh my God.
Look at all that engagement.
Wow.
Woo. All right, you guys are doing it. All right. Now we can get to the news. And we're going to kick it off with Spooky Pinball. They announced 2 pinball machines at once. So 2 things at once, like Travis Kelce and his ad that he runs during the football games that Nick never sees. He does 2 things at once. Just
I don't
like
know who
Spooky
that person
Pinball.
is.
Exactly. I wanted to make that joke to pinball people, but I figured they wouldn't understand what it was. So I told my wife because she watches football. Spooky Pinball dropped trailers for their next game. So remember back when Halloween came out and they were like, oh, it's Halloween, but we're also doing Ultraman? Well, they're doing it again. Except this time it's Looney Tunes and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't think you could pick 2 more different themes to go with each other. But that was the big news this week. So we'll start off, I guess, by taking a look at the trailer for Looney Tunes. The pricing on these, a standard edition is $8,300, Bloodsucker is $9,000, and the collector's edition is $9,700. So those are roughly in line with what Scooby-Doo was. So I'll go ahead and we can take a look at this. So we're looking at Looney Tunes. The first thing I noticed when I looked at this game was that those ramps are really orange. And at first I thought they were plastic, but they're actually powder coated with a clear coat over them, which that seems concerning to me. Like you're smashing those ramps all the time. And is that really going to hold up? But I guess we'll see. Has anybody else done that? Do you know?
Dude, I'm glad you said that, Kevin, because that is also the first thing that I mean, the first thing I thought is that it's a very visually appealing game, right? Like they do a good job of that, but then I zoomed in on the ramps and thought the same exact thing. It just looks like they're asking for trouble. Looks good, but I mean, I know people like the habit trails, right? Or the wire form return ramps, people are always powder coating them, and they've been powder coating, and that seems to hold up. That's fine. But, when you look at ramps and you clean a pinball machine, especially there's like a lot of like dirt, grime, and wear kind of builds up on the steel ramps, like maybe the first inch or 2 of when the ball enters there, more so than any place. And plus it can have like a ball line. But just go look at your ramps on a game that's been played. and on a steel metal ramp, and you'll notice that. So I don't know what that's going to do over time. I mean, I imagine it's going to wear through the clear powder coat, and then it's going to wear through that. Like, it's just I don't know, right? Like I think like what you're saying is there's concern, right? I'd be like, what's going to happen?
I have a counterpoint. I'm going to play devil's advocate and say, if your spooky machine is broken all the time, you're not going to wear out your ramps.
That's true.
You know, maybe they're thinking ahead. They're playing to their audience and their strengths. We'll make it look great. You're not going to play it, but so it'll look great. There you go. Maybe that's what they're banking on. In chat, Rebel Guitar says Scooby has them, but they're mostly hidden under the upper playfield. That seems weird. Like, why would you? First off, that's good to know. Second off, why would you spend the time, effort, and money to powder coat a ramp that's under an upper playfield? That seems like a dumb decision. Doesn't seem very smart to me. All right, moving on. Let's check out some of these other features. What else we got? We got. Actually, probably if I scroll. Okay, there you go. Anvil loading, space rocket, ball launch. So you shoot the left ramp and it loads into a lock over by the rocket there. That's pretty cool. And it and you can see it pop in there. And so to me, like comparing, and we'll look at these a little bit more side by side, but it feels to me like they designed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and then adapted the Looney Tunes around that versus vice versa. Because on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this is the meat grinder over there, and that makes a lot more sense than like a rocket. Why would a rocket like grind up the ball? And you can kind of see that happen here. I'm not saying it doesn't fit, but it just, to me, it's like you have to start somewhere, and it definitely feels to me like they started with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The overall layout I think looks good. It's a good flowy layout. The ramps and shots seem repeatable. 2 upper flippers. There's the Taz here that spins around in the Acme crate, opens and closes, and your ball can lock in there, which is pretty cool. Some cool mechs. The spinning Taz reminds me of the 90s when like everybody was obsessed with the Tasmanian Devil for some reason, and dummies were getting Tasmanian Devil tattoos.
I was gonna say you can bust out a Tasmanian Devil 90s like sweatshirt, you know,
exactly.
or Tweety's bird shirt, you know.
Yeah, that was all the hype in the 90s.
Not for me personally, but I know it was. Yes.
Yep. And then in the back, there's a lock in the back too, above the spinning Taz. A lot of the folks in comments that I've seen are complaining. You would never imagine that folks might be complaining, but they were complaining about the audio, saying those are not the right sound effects for Looney Tunes, and it's hard to know if these are the sounds that will be in the game because we haven't seen gameplay of it. We've only seen these trailers, and sometimes you have to kind of modify audio when you upload things to YouTube, so there's no saying these are necessarily the sound effects that are going to be in there, but the ones that are in there are not authentic Looney Tunes. So there's the lock in the bag. So I think that they did a good job taking that other playfield and making it feel like Looney Tunes. Obviously, it's a very attractive game. Like you said, Spooky, that's always been one of Spooky's strong points, I think, is making real good-looking games, which helps people click that buy button. One thing I heard is that the person who did the art for Turner Pinball's Ninja Eclipse also did Looney Tunes. So, okay. Like, the art is good on Ninja Eclipse, I would say, and I think it's good on Looney Tunes too. So to be entrusted with such an iconic license is there's something to be said for that. So that's Looney Tunes. So they're limiting each of the 2 units to 888 Looney units each. So you get
how many?
888 each.
Okay.
So was that 1,700-ish total? Which it puts it a little less than Scooby. Scooby was at 1,900 something, 1963 or 64 or something like that. And they didn't sell out of that, and they have not sold out of either one of these either. So I think the like FOMO and hype train has cooled off significantly when it comes to pinball. I think you have the opportunity to play some of these games before you run out and buy them, which is a good thing. like, so here's the pricing: 888 units. And if you want to upgrade to the butter cabinet, it's another $1,500. So, I saw some people saying that's the greatest way to waste $1,500 ever, because you never get that price back when you sell it. Like, reseller or people who are buying a used game don't care if it's butter or not. It's just if this is your dream theme and you're going to have it in a showcase spot in your game room, then go ahead and pay the extra money, but don't expect to get that back when you sell it.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, like, they have a standard edition, which is not much. Scroll up, Kevin.
Yeah.
Which is the standard edition's $82.99. The Bloodsucker edition is $89.99. So I'm looking at like Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo has like the same kind of thing, 3 models. When I look at the standard edition for Scooby-Doo, they've 6 people on Pinside have that in their collection. Like, just like nobody seems to be in the market for that standard edition. They're just happy to pay that extra $700, $800, whatever dollars. So it's interesting that they even offer that.
Yeah, I think it's like
so close in pricing.
It could be a marketing tactic, right? You always offer 3 pricing options, and then most people pick the middle one. You know what I mean? So
okay,
maybe that's why. Or maybe they just want to have the ability to say, hey, we have a pinball machine. Our pinball machines are only $8,300 or whatever. They want to be able to brag about having a low priced option. So, but I agree.
Yeah.
I remember when Rick and Morty came out, like they sold like 5 of the low end version, and then the other thing they do is they prioritize build of the more expensive version. So if you want it sooner, you buy the more expensive one, right? So that's another reason to kind of upsell it a little bit. So, we'll take a look at some photos here. They have a new thing they're doing is a magnetic speaker panel, which seems kind of weird, but I guess the only reason you would do that is if you were planning on selling other options to stick on there. So maybe like future mod options. Seems like a bad idea for a location. Could just get snagged off of the machine unless they have some way to kind of secure it on there. But that's something else new they're offering. What else? Anything else we want to talk about? There's 2 buttons on the right and one action button. Again, we haven't seen gameplay of this, so we don't know exactly how all of these things are going to be integrated, but I kind of like the drop targets, and then there's a scoop behind the drop targets here. That's cool. I mean, of the 2 licenses, this would be the one I'd be more interested in. I'm not a horror movie fan at all, so but I did watch Looney Tunes growing up, so we'll see. The what's interesting too is that they have 2 different coders on the 2 different machines. So like with Halloween and Ultraman, they were more parallel in development. I think they had the same team working on both machines, and on this one they have Eric Kripke working on Looney Tunes, and Ben Heck is doing code for the other one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So it'll
Ben
be
Heck is doing it.
Yeah, he's doing.
I thought he wasn't BFF of those guys.
Well, they're BFFs again. They're hanging out together, you know.
On again, off again.
Yeah, it's they're like Hall & Oates, really, if you think about it. What else? Anything else you want to say about Looney Tunes? What do you think?
I share your sentiments. I mean, again, I think one thing that Spooky does very, very well is that they make visually appealing games. When you look at it, you're like, art looks great. Like the stuff on the play, everything's vibrant. Like there's stuff going on. They know what they're doing in that sense. They know how to sell a machine. They go out and they pick a licensed game that they can at least sell enough units. I'd love to really spend some time with these games so I can really dig into them. Usually they fall apart in terms of quality, no pun intended, and the code doesn't reach the depth that I think that you and I look for, but undeniably game is visually appealing, and the layout looks solid too. It looks like a pretty solid, flowy, good layout. Like they're not trying to come up with like things that are different but don't necessarily work, right? This is more of maybe a safe play, but probably the way to go.
Yeah, but also doing some neat stuff along
the
way.
Agree.
Like I like this little like under flipper post trap thing. Like there's some interesting thought in the layout here. So
yeah, definitely not phoned in, right? Like that's you could see the effort.
Yeah, it's not just like 2 ramps, 2 orbits, and a theme, right? It's they put some thought into this, and there's some cool mechanics. Like you said, the issues we've seen with Spooky are like reliability and code, and can they keep that? Can they kind of rise to that next level when it comes to that? With these
and I don't
games?
know how they can unless they just make some radical changes in like staffing, right, and who they bring on to work on that. So I think we'll see more of the same, which is great for their audience and people who like spooky games, and the folks who typically veer away from spooky games for the reason that you and I typically do. Like, this is not going to win them over.
Right, and
It's my guess, but it remains to be seen, right?
Right, and with the market the way it is right now, there's not as many people who are just like gonna go and drop money. They're gonna kind of wait and see, because most of the time you can buy it used for less. We saw that with Scooby-Doo. People were selling their pre-order spots for less than what they paid for, so they were taking a loss right off the start. So I mean, that's good from a consumer perspective in that we get to play these games before we drop money on them. But from a pinball manufacturer standpoint, it's not as good, where, you know, you could instantly drop a game and sell it out because people were just sitting around at home doing nothing and buying pinball machines. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this plays out across all the manufacturers, not just Spooky. So there's Looney Tunes. Let's take a look at Texas Pinball Massacre. Or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not Texas Pinball Festival. Texas Pinball Festival Chainsaw Massacre. That's going to be their next game. So, are you a Texas Pinball Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan? Have you seen the movie or anything like that?
I've not. I probably should see the movie, right? It's like a horror classic at this point. There was just a video game that came out, I think, over the summer. That's kind of like a Dead by Daylight clone, but it's just on that movie alone. So I kind of totally want to watch it, maybe next, like around Halloween time. That's like a 4K purchase, and I watch it. But yeah, I'm not the people like absolutely love horror and they can't get enough horror. Like I don't seek it out, I'd watch it, but this kind of does nothing for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. It's
Both these themes do nothing for me, by the way. So like my joke is like two more themes marked safe, right? Or my dream themes are marked safe once again.
Exactly.
Spooky's not going to get their hands on things that I like.
Yeah, I mean, I like that there's a company taking a chance on licenses like this, because I don't think this is something that Stern would ever do. And they're obviously passionate about it. If you watch the longer feature video that Straight Down the Middle did, like this is where they shine, right? This is their bread and butter. So
yeah, and I think this is like, if you're a fan of Spooky, right? And they're making all these licenses that none of these other pinball manufacturers are going to do. And if you like these themes, then you're going to super root for Spooky, right? You're going to give them a pass. You're going to defend them. You're going to get mad when people like you and I criticize Spooky. I think like you and I come from it like as objectively as possible, because we're not getting pulled or drawn in by theme. So we look at like what's there in terms of quality. We're judging it based on code versus what other manufacturers are doing, right? And I think that's where we butt heads with everybody else. So I get it, right? Like if I was a horror fanatic or whatever, and Spooky is just knocking out of the park, constantly making themes that I like, I'd have a bias that comes in play where I'd want to root for them. I want to try to give them a pass, and I think this is just where we differ here.
yeah,
Like you and I differ from like the Spooky fans.
Yeah, the Spooky supporters, yeah, for sure. And like something like more like Rick and Morty is more up my alley. So that's something that appeals to me more than a horror theme like this, and that's why I'm more interested in that game than most of the Spooky games. That and Total Nuclear Annihilation, that's right up my alley too. But you know, it's not enough to get me to buy, because I don't own any of either of those.
Yeah.
It's my concerns about reliability and especially now with Rick and Morty on the resale market, that's one that held its value because they sold only 750 of those, and those sold out immediately, and it's a really strong license and it has wide appeal, so it's kind of held its own. But I think maybe eventually those will be available for sale. But let's talk a little bit more about Texas Chainsaw Massacre in specific. That obviously the mechs and the layout are all the same, so a lot of what we said about the Looney Tunes layout applies here. But I think what we saw, my impression is that they designed this playfield for this game and theme, and then they adapted it to the other. I could be wrong, but that's just the impression I get. But the other thing that was, it was a little disturbing watching Bug talk about this game, and he's like, yeah, in this game, you're the murderer and you're trying to kill everybody. It's like, oh, all right, buddy. Okay, that's your thing. That's cool. But you get a little too excited about some cannibalism there. So apparently so in most like horror games, you would be like trying to escape from this bad guy. But like, no, you're like, that's your bro in this game. Like, he's your buddy. You're trying to feed people to him so he can chop them up and turn them into meat or whatever and throw them into the meat grinder, which is over here on the left. So yeah, I guess that's not what I look for when I step up to a pinball machine. I was thinking about it earlier today, is that if I had to pick like one genre of themes that appeal to me most in pinball, is probably sci-fi stuff, like, you know, Final Resistance and Tron and Alien. Those kind of themes are what appeal to me the most. So those are kind of the ones that I would be more biased towards. Not so much like, you know, hacking and murdering people isn't at the top of my list of things I like to do in my casual time. So that's not something I'm looking to bring into my pinball experience, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, visually the ramps here are more of a blood red, lot of like deep reds in this, like you would expect on a horror theme. Reminds me kind of like at first glance of a Walking Dead. Overall, you know, if you're thinking just general aesthetics of a game, it's kind of got that overall look. I think, well, a little more bling with the powder coated out ramps and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I think again the art is good. The entire package is good. If this is your dream theme, you're probably already in on it. If you're like the rest of us, and you know the gameplay and rules and everything like that are what it comes down to, then. Yeah, it's I would recommend taking a wait and see approach, because I do like Walking Dead is one of my favorite games of all time, right? And that's a horror theme, and it's an ugly machine, but the rules are really good, and the gameplay's fun, and the layout's cool. So like that overcomes that for me. So something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre could be something like that for me. Nick, what do you think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yeah, same. I mean, look, and to your comment about being like the murderer, I mean, that's to me, that's fine. That's whatever. They're offering something different. Like, I used to play a lot of Dead by Daylight. You know, you can be the survivors, or you can be the person who's hunting them down, and you know, it can be fun both ways. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm glad that people who like horror, I mean, it's cool. I always like when people get their dream theme and their theme. So like, I'm happy that they're scratching an itch for this crowd. And I'm curious. I have not been following along on Scooby-Doo, right? Obviously, we talked a lot about that earlier in the year. As usual, we upset people. I've played only a couple games on location, so I can't really talk much about it. But I am curious for if any of these fellow operators are listening to this podcast. If you operate on location, like what your experience has been from earnings, from reliability. So feel free to share that experience with us, because I don't think we're really going to get a good chance to we never really get a good chance to dive into these games. You know, we had a friend who was buying Spooky. We got to do Halloween. We did a stream on it. He's been burned by Spooky, so he's like in the never again Spooky club. So, which again,
yeah, although he just bought a TNA, so
of course he did.
So yeah, a lot of people say
you,
never again, and then a new machine comes out and they buy it anyway. So,
all right, well, okay, all right,
yep.
Well, maybe we will get to play this game.
Exactly. I think we will eventually.
Is James getting it?
I don't know. I think Christy and Scott might end up getting it.
All right, maybe we'll stream it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
They're big horror movie fans, so.
All right. Let's move on.
There you go. Okay, so those are the two big announcements for the month. We got some other news to share though. Stern Pinball finally launched their app for Insider Connected. Nick, did you download the app?
Dude, I did when it was launched, and it wasn't logging in, and then I instantly forgot about the fact that the app exists after wanting the app for so long. So I should try to see if I can log in again. I don't know if it's a me problem or they were just having problems with their server.
Yeah, it was a problem everybody was having.
Okay.
They got overloaded at the beginning. If only they could have predicted how many people might do this based on the number of people who have been using their app. But yeah, they finally launched an iOS and Android app for Insider Connected. Promptly like crashed and people couldn't log in. Had a bunch of problems. I didn't even get to the point you got to. I just saw people were having so many problems that I didn't even bother downloading the app, and then I totally forgot. So it doesn't really like. I don't end up navigating through the website much when I do Insider Connected. I just pull up the QR code in my Apple Wallet and I scan it and then I play. I don't find myself needing to use the app now that I have the card in my Apple Wallet. I don't know. Maybe once I download it, I'll see the advantages to digging through there, because you could probably go through and track your achievements. In theory, that's what I would want to do. Like, see if there's things I can go for, or maybe check leaderboards, things like that. Make it a little easier. But from what I've heard, it's just like a app-based interface for their website, which
Correct.
was never that great to me. So, yeah, Insider Connected. It's getting better, but it's still got ways to go, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It looks very familiar to the website, so it's probably the same thing. Good to finally have that. You know, I'll add that to my home screen on my phone, but there we go. Yeah, nothing radically different. If you've logged into the website on your phone, it's basically the same thing. So I obviously prefer the app though, because it's just less steps, right?
Right, and then it's just like loaded on your phone, and you can just pop in real quick. In theory, pop in real quick and do what you need to do and get out. So, and hopefully, one of the issues with the website is that I always had to log in when I went back to it. It never kept me logged in. So hopefully, this will at least keep you logged in on your phone, and you can make it easier to get to your QR code or whatever.
One can hope.
Are we ready to talk Galactic Tank Force?
As ready as one can be for this exciting topic.
All right, this was
it's puzzling topic.
Yeah, this came a little bit out of nowhere. But
can I preface? Can I just set the table?
Let's set the table.
Okay, so if you're a loyal listener and following along, then you're up to speed on Galactic Tank Force, and I'm not really going to recount too much here, but this is a game made by American Pinball, which came out earlier in the year, and it got much derision from the community and much confusion from the community. I'm looking on Pinside, and how many? So they've got how many fucking models? They have LE and DE on here, which I guess deluxe edition, limited edition. Like, you know, in and of itself, you can't really even figure out what the difference is. But Kevin, how many games? If I add both up, how many games do you think have been self-reported as sold by collectors?
75.
That's a really good guess. It's 68.
Oh, I was a little over.
That is over. For anybody wondering, that's fucking terrible. Okay, that is fucking terrible. Like, let me say it one more time. Fucking terrible. Like, you've failed when you have self-reported 68 games. And all right, let me just look at some other things for you guys. So put everything in perspective. Scooby-Doo came out this year. Their collector's edition, 483 self-reported. 68 to 483.
Yeah,
okay?
That would put Spooky and American kind of parallel in terms of size of production capability and things like that. Yeah.
All right, let's see what else came. Yeah, they're but American Pinball is bigger than Spooky. Spooky is like a boutique. American Pinball is like one notch higher than that, like a notch lower than like Stern or Jersey Jack, right?
Yeah, so maybe go to Jersey Jack next. They
should be like really fucking them up. All right, we're gonna look at all the games that came out right there. Like I said before, Godfather's not been doing great, so let's look at that. By the way, if you're interested in Godfather, I'd say reach out to Zach and see if he's got any deals for you on a new one.
Oh shoot!
Let's see. I don't know if he does, but that's what I would do. All right, Godfather LE. Let's see what that is. Godfather LE 103. Not good.
Nope, not great.
Not good. Not great.
How many collector's editions?
224. Not great, but again, better. Yeah. Much better than 68. Okay? Yep. So over 300. Losing to Scooby-Doo, which is a sad fucking day. A really sad day all around. And then we'll look at the other one would be Foo Fighters, right? Like, which is probably crushing all of them because Stern's kind of got to figure it out in the price point. So Foo Fighters Pro, 320. Foo Fighters Premium, which is going to be even more, I'm guessing, 443. And then the LE 365. So over 1,000, right? Like over 1,000 Foo Fighters versus 60 fucking 8 Galactic Tank Force. Okay, now we can go with the story, because that was a very important thing for everybody to just
thanks for setting the table.
To think about.
Yep. So kind of a few weeks ago, what was the date on this? November 21st. American Pinball reveals special features for Galactic Tank Force Signature Edition machines. So this is coming from Nap Arcade. A few of our stories we've shown today. Shout out to Nap Arcade for staying on top of things. He says, while we have known about the Signature Edition of American Pinball's latest game of Galactic Tank Force since it was launched, we never really knew all of the special features that were to be included in that version of the game. An hour or so ago, AP launched a trailer for the GTF Signature Edition. So here's a quote from, well, I'm not going to quote it. I'm going to play this video for you, because why not hear directly from the source? So let me jump over here, and then I'm going to switch the audio so Nick can hear too, and then y'all can enjoy. So he's going to get this one. So you should be able to hear it now. Okay, so American Pinball presents. Okay, we're in a kitchen. There's a kid with a rocket ship, and then Duke Kaboom shows up.
Wowee indeed, Bobby. Hello, I'm Major Duke Moonwalker, here from the future to tell you about a great offer from American Pinball today. The top-of-the-line exclusive release.
Can't see it, Kevin.
Galactic
It's not showing up.
Right.
You don't have the video on.
I gotta put you over here.
Tank Force Signature Edition.
Bobby, who are you talking to? The spaceman.
So Bobby's in the
Galactic
kitchen
Tank
talking to the
Force Signature
spaceman.
Edition comes with all the action, all the gameplay, and all the interactive entertainment you've come to enjoy. Plus, exclusive new features, including
Exclusive new features. Oh, wait, all right. Okay. Well, all right. So we're gonna stop right there. Nick, what do you think of the exclusive features of this 3D printed toy that's been painted?
It's like what's the saying? You put lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, that's it. So all those 3D printed ships that everybody was like, those are terrible. No, they put a little paint on them. All right, back to it.
That change with playfield lighting.
So they change with playfield lighting. How? Wait, hang on. Let's go back. Okay.
Painted glow-tech toys that change with playfield lighting.
So the light from the side reflects off of the top, and that's how it changes with the playfield lighting. Is that what they're claiming there? I think that's what they're claiming. Oh my goodness. All right. That's one thing. So we've got that.
Exclusive.
Oh, this might be my favorite. Let's get back. Let's make sure we get that whole thing.
Exclusive radiant rubber reactive bands from Titan throughout the game.
Jeepers.
They put glow-in-the-dark Titan rings on it. So it's like $5 worth of Titan rings on the machine. All right, so
I don't have the audio anymore, Kevin, but
no,
I don't want you to break
keep switching
anything.
back and forth.
Yeah. Don't do that.
So, yes. So something you could do yourself for a few dollars. They're claiming that as one of the top of the line achievements of this signature edition, which we'll get to the price later because the price is insane. But okay, there's that.
Priceless signature edition apron decal.
Priceless signature edition apron decals. Well, it's probably
Who the hell
because
cares?
it has Dave Fix's signature on there, so that makes it priceless, right?
Who cares about like all this team is super proud of this game that is like is appealing to such a extremely small niche audience. Like it's super bizarre.
They're just like they're doing the bare minimum level of investment in this thing to give the illusion of value when there's really no added value. And you're going to see that over and over throughout this video, okay?
Signed by actual members of the GTF design team with official hologram.
It comes with an official hologram, they say, which is literally like they went to like one of these online sticker mules or something, and they got a sticker made with a holographic foil finish, and they slapped it on the apron, and they're calling it an exclusive hologram. It's like the worst possible. This is like kindergarten level marketing stuff going on here.
Hey, howdy.
Retro green powder coat solid metal legs.
Retro green powder coated solid metal
Rails and lockdown bar.
Yeah,
Exclusive only on this one-of-a-kind signature collector's edition.
It's exclusive only on this one-of-a-kind edition, collector's edition machine, which you could just go get done yourself if you really like that color. Like if you had one of the other versions and you like that color, you could just go get your own armor powder coated. Okay.
Oh, gee.
Next.
Evolutionary design, fold and fight GTF tank turret, dreamed up by Dennis Nordman.
Holy
Yeah, so we've railed on this before. It's like, yeah, that looks awesome. That's really cool looking. But like, how often do you fold down the back box on your pinball machine? Like, if you're like me, you bring your pinball machine home, you set it up, and then you leave the back box. So why would you?
This is a wasted building materials,
Yeah,
wasted time, wasted engineering. It's stupid.
It's so
Nobody wants this. This is not selling shit.
Yeah, obviously, because it hasn't sold anything yet. So here we
How?
go. Keep going.
Also including mesmerizing, motion-activated, 3-dimension back glass.
Okay,
That's
that's kind of cool. Like the 3D lenticular back glass. You know, I have one on my Tron. I really like it. It's exclusive to this version. Okay, I'll give him credit there. I dig that.
I
That's
agree.
cool.
I agree.
And it's fitting for this theme.
Retro, sci-fi, diamond-coated playfield.
Retro
Still
sci-fi
Harrower.
diamond coated playfield. Okay, what is retro sci-fi about the finish on the playfield?
What the fuck does that even mean? We've been clear. Everyone clear coats their playfields these days. What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're trying to like say we brought back diamond coat, but you know that's not what they did.
Get out.
2 full-size
It's got lead in it.
mountable battle-action LED.
It's got diamonds.
Thank you, HSH from the chat. Good call.
Got some good comments going here. I appreciate this. It's got the dumb tank treads on there, which you can get on one of the other
tank tread
versions, the
panels.
deluxe, right?
Gee whiz.
Who cares?
Did they make the LEDs on the tank treads better, or no? They're just the same old bullshit.
So I was just going to mention that. The best part of that is once people got these and set them up, you have to like plug the LED tank tread lights in separately. So they're like, they went to Amazon and they bought some strips of LEDs and they stuck them on the sides, and then you just plug them in, and they're not integrated with the game at all.
So do you have to, when you're done, do you have to unplug it separately? Is there an on and off switch for the LEDs? Like
I
you
don't
turn
know.
the game
I
out,
don't
but the
know.
LEDs are so fucked.
I think so.
I don't even
so.
care to know. Who gives a shit?
But there's extra like wires and stuff that you have to have underneath your machine to plug those things in.
Whiz.
Official.
You get a
GTF
lunchbox.
tin.
Okay, the lunchbox is cool. I like the lunchbox. Is it worth $16,000 to upgrade to my Galactic Tank Force Signature Edition? Oh, I spoiled the price. I would argue no, but
Yeah, but this thing doesn't move. Like having a lunchbox was a waste of time and energy production. You got to ship it. Like this doesn't sell the game. You know what I mean? Like you need to sell games. This is not selling. This it's like we're missing a lunchbox. We have a lunchbox. We're just gonna sell at least like 100 more games. Like
yeah,
no, it's not moving the needle.
If they wanted to do a lunchbox, they should have just like sold it separately and be like, if you want a lunchbox, here's a lunchbox. Okay.
For all 10 of you that own this game, maybe one of you wants a lunchbox.
Right.
Lunchbox with working thermos.
It comes with a thermos.
Just like they use on the moon of Lumina.
I want one.
Collector's edition.
Pause right there,
refillable.
Kevin.
Yeah.
This is I'm spoiling the lead, and I can't help myself. This is the kind of stuff you do and make when you have a highly successful game, right? Like you have a game that so many people bought and so many people want and love that they're gonna buy accessories, they're gonna buy, or they want the ultimate edition of this, right? Like that's what you do. Not on a failing game. Like all this, like they have a game that is a fucking turd. Like it is a disaster. Okay, I'm sorry. Like that's like you shoot the messenger here. You can go ahead and hate me for it, but like I just went over the numbers on Pinside. This is an abject failure. So why, when you release like this signature or even more special edition, this is what a company does with like an Elvira, like a really successful game to generate more sales on a successful game somebody wants. This is what you do like on a Jurassic Park, which sold a ton, right? Like. You don't do this on a game that's failed that nobody wants. You don't come out with an edition that's worth even more money. like the thinking behind this is just super crazy. And this like marketing video is pretty good. Like I'm not like the marketing things that they're trying to do to sell it aren't. But like, I'll give them credit. Like, this is a fine video. But like the time and effort put into this is just like a real head scratcher. I just don't understand what's going on. I couldn't even try to get into this level of thinking if I tried.
Yeah, I like the comment in chat. Working thermos as opposed to a non-working thermos. I hate my thermos doesn't work. It's a selling point, the fact that it works. So this next part, and somebody said, I want to give credit. Somebody said they're gonna. Oh, James Gerasa said they're gonna offer this for the lunchbox for sale separately, so it's not exclusive. To which I would also point out the fact that neither is the pint glass. You could just, if you really want a pint glass, you could just buy a pint glass. They're going to talk about some of this other stuff. All of this is on their website. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fail, dude. What? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so
Galactic Tank Force pint glass.
I need one for my dad.
One giant 5-foot Captain Cayenne vinyl show
you
banner.
can get a banner.
She's swell.
2 full-color, frame-ready Galactic Tank Force pinball posters.
They're frame ready. Galactic Tank Force posters.
All of the above
All of the
feature
above.
artwork by famous pinball artist Christopher Franchi.
Wait. We're getting to it. So
Likely to be worth even more in the future.
there it is. All of it contains priceless art by Christopher Franchi, likely to be worth even more in the future. So they're selling this on like as an investment. They're like, you need to buy this because it's probably going to go up in value because it's got famous pinball art on it. Like, what could go wrong? Definitely buy that. And again, all those things that they just showed, the posters, the banner, the mug, or the glass, you can just buy that stuff if you like it. The posters are $30 each. The pint glass is $20, and the banner is $100 if you really want it. So again, just go buy those things separately. There's like no reason to buy this signature edition machine. Okay,
Kevin, how many of these machines are they going to sell?
like 5. I bet they'll sell like 5 of these.
My number in my head before I asked that was 10, which seems very generous.
It does.
I mean, I must be in a good mood this morning.
You're feeling good. Well, I was generous on the overall sales of the other version. So okay, there you go.
Out of town.
And is that like good if they sell 10? Is that like they find 10 people or 5 people? Is that a win? Like I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's super bizarre.
These are supposed to be limited to 200, so I would guess if that's their goal and they sell 10, that's a fail in my book. You know what I mean?
Oh God,
will
I'd
be
love to be a
thanking
fly on the
President
wall
for
in this
such a
company.
smart
Like
decision.
I would just
Any
love
advice
to
on future
just
sports matchups?
hear the
Not
thinking
how
that
it
goes on.
works, Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
But
beyond
you'll
me.
have the biggest score of your life by investing
There's
in the
more
Galactic
good
Tank
stuff.
Force.
Oh wait, there was a good part. Here we go.
Life by investing in the Galactic Tank Force Signature Edition today.
Investing in a Galactic Tank Force Signature Edition. Investing. It's not an investment. Pinball is not an investment. Buy the pinball machines you like to play. You're probably going to lose money. Sometimes you'll make a little money. That's nice when it happens. Don't put your money into this as an investment.
Don't miss out.
Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Buy now. Don't miss out. Times, open up your wallet, get your credit cards out and buy it immediately.
Wait, so how does time travel work?
It's not important, Bobby. What is important is that you call your distributor today.
Call your
Hurry.
distributor today.
Only 200 available.
Only 200 available.
So will one day I be a pinball expert?
this game-
and
this
have
game's a
big
meme.
Black mustache?
It's such a
It's a
Odds
fucking
are
meme.
good.
Bobby,
And here comes Mom out to flirt with Duke Kaboom over here. So I feel like there was another
Live
investment
spaceman,
thing in here
not
somewhere. That might have been it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, contact your distributor. Invest in the future. Invest. Buy now. Don't miss out. They're really,
Dude.
really trying hard to get the FOMO going here, and
Dude.
I think I've failed.
Another fail. And I thought we were done. I thought they were just ready to move on and just take the L. But no, this came out of nowhere, and here we are talking about it again. I thought we were done, Kevin. Thought we can move on. But
So Joystick Jedi in chat says we're taking this too seriously. I think it's important to kind of call out when there's nonsense like this. Like this to me, it reminded me of like the NFT thing, or like, just everybody's gonna get in on this. We all love it. You got to buy now. You got to be don't want to be the late adopter. You want to be the early adopter and come out ahead. You know, it had that. It really struck me as gross when I watched this video. I was like, this is disgusting. the investment angle of it. I was like, I cannot. And then the fact, so it's like, okay, if you're going to play that angle, give something of value. And the fact that there is nothing of value because you can buy all this stuff separately. There's no reason to buy this. It's like, so we haven't officially talked pricing, but the pricing is like, it's one of those call for pricing schemes. And we've seen that with the Elvira super special edition they did last year. Beatles was this way. I think wasn't Bond 60th was also a call for pricing thing. And from what I've read online, the people who have called for pricing said they're asking around $16,000 for this machine, which is insane. Do not buy this for $16,000.
Yeah, and I think me and Kevin take this seriously because I mean it's kind of interesting, but Kevin and I both have, you know, kind of a communication, sales, marketing background, like between the two of us, and spent a lot of time. So we think about this stuff and we really lock on it, and we try to understand the decision making, and we're just absolutely bewildered. So this is fascinating to us, and we love to kind of talk about it and break it down. And you know, it's not all bad when somebody does something good. We're happy to say, "Oh, we think this is a good move, and here's why we think it's a good move, and it will do well." And this is just so many bewildering things with Galactic Tank Force. It's remarkable.
Yeah. As contrast, I think the Barrels of Fun guys, they did a great job. They did it the way you would want. They built machines. They had a good license. They manufactured them. Then they put them up for sale. People could play them immediately. You know, they kind of checked all the boxes. So, you know, it's not just, you know, we're not looking to just like put people on blast all the time. But when something's ridiculous, we'll do it.
Yeah, if you missed that episode, and go listen to our remarks on that and how we contrast what they did and how we analyze that versus this.
Right.
You know, there's logic behind it, right?
There you go. You guys can talk amongst yourselves in chat on that. We're going to move on to we got a few other updates for you. And on the Multimorphic front, we had a few smaller releases. The Birdwatcher add-on game from Ian Harrower Games is a $150 game you can grab for your P3. It works on all the modules now. I did the official launch stream with Ian. He was kind enough to come from his home country of Canada all the way over here to Buffalo, and he joined me on stream to show off Birdwatcher. We also did some of the first testing on the Final Resistance playfield, so you can see some gameplay of that in action on our YouTube channel. If you're looking for just a chill game to play after you get your butt kicked on Final Resistance, Birdwatcher is a great one. It reminds me of Pokemon Snap in pinball form. So if you're a 90s kid and you played Pokemon Snap on your Nintendo 64, you kind of got an idea of what to expect with a game like this. You're looking to take pictures of all the birds and fill up your bird book. And Ian did a cool. So he's the first one. So there have been other P3 games that have worked on all the playfield modules, but this is the first one that customizes the game to the playfield module you're playing on. So when you play on the Final Resistance playfield, you get cool like futuristic looking backgrounds and stuff. And when you play on Heist, you're in a city and all those sorts of things. So super cool integration. He's a one-man team. He brought this game to market all on his own, from concept to implementation, marketing, and getting it out there. So huge kudos to Ian and crew, which is only him who brought this to life. I mean, it's awesome to see yet another third-party game on the P3. And Nick got to play a little Birdwatcher. You like this one, right?
It's very relaxing.
Yeah. It's got super chill music.
Yeah.
So there you go, Birdwatcher. Also, Weird Al got a big update. I think this was actually on Thanksgiving they dropped this. I'll just show you on screen. There's a massive changelog of all the things that are new. But here's the graphic kind of sums it all up. So they enhanced modes, squashed bugs, improved accessibility. So I think for colorblind folks, the germs mode was challenging because it was hard to tell the good from the bad germ. So they fixed some of the graphics on that for folks who are colorblind. Some nicer rules, some meaner rules, and same delicious bologna flavor. One of the things they changed, there was the You Make Me Mini Wizard mode. I haven't had a chance to dig into that yet because I've been playing Final Resistance so much, but when I drop Weird Al back in, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to getting to and trying out is, I from what I've read or what I remember, I may be remembering wrong, but it's like an add-a-ball mode now, which sounds pretty cool. So, check that out if you got a Weird Al. And this was cool. Nick, did you see this PAPA video that was going around?
I did not know.
Okay, so this will be news to you. It's coming. And it's got like Jaws-ish sounding music in 2024. Stay tuned. What do you think that is?
I don't know, though. I mean, it could be anything.
I know.
They could be streaming again.
Exactly.
So
I was trying to like what game is that we see here? That's all. That's an oldie. It's an oldie. That's like a early solid state game or an EM.
I don't like this stuff. Like, just fucking say, make it clear that it's either a tournament's coming or it's streaming.
Yeah, but like Doug Polka shared this on Facebook and Elizabeth shared it, and
don't do this to me, Doug and Elizabeth. Like, just don't get my hopes up.
Yeah,
if it's not Papa coming back, like the Papa we know and love.
Yeah,
I can't take it.
We need Pinberg back.
I'm on the edge already.
Yeah, so hopefully for those of y'all who are into tournaments or just awesome pinball experiences, that's what this is.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm pretty excited. So we'll keep an eye on that and let y'all know when we know more. All right. Going back to our, a couple months ago, we had the dumb pinside post of the month, and this one found its way to Nick and I. And it kind of hits on two of the themes we've touched on in the past, both of cheater ramps and dumb pinside posts. So let's take you over to the 007 James Bond Cheaters Club. And this is something people are embracing. So this person on Pinside said, I became an honorable member of the Cheaters Club.
I like how I appreciate that, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate that he knows he's in the Cheaters Club.
Yeah.
Did we coin the Cheaters Club, or they?
No, we coined cheater ramps.
Cheater ramps, okay.
Yeah, but this is definitely a cheater ramp, and the Cheaters, the 007 Cheaters Club is a subset of that, I think. So he glued a bunch of stuff to his game, which is cool. Oh, there it is. That's it. So this is. So if you've played James Bond 007 by Stern, on the left there's a scoop that the ball goes into, and it holds it, and then it kicks it out like at random back into the middle of the playfield. People have taken that scoop and turned it into a vertical up kicker, which safely returns it to the wire form instead of kicking it back out onto the playfield. So instead of this like randomization that you would get that of the machine that legendary George Gomez designed, they're taking this and turning it into a safe little whoop, pops it right back onto the ramp, and then you can have a safe shot to take another shot from the left. So there you go. That's our latest installment of 007, the Cheaters Club, the latest in the cheater ramp controversy. Nick, what do you think about this latest cheater ramp?
I'm really concerned, and my heart goes out to all of the Bond fan owners. Like, this is their cope. I mean, they're really. It's been rough for them code-wise and dealing with things that they have to glue like all the shit in the world to their game and make cheater ramps. Like this, these fans have been traumatized significantly with this game. It's hard to see and watch, and I really feel for them. I feel that this is what it's come to that they got to do. You're all cheaters, and I think that maybe I don't know, man. Maybe just give the game up and move on. This game, like, no amount of ramps or anything is going to make you happy with this game, and no amount of cope, and it's sunk cost. And I feel for you. I'm not being a dick. I feel for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird, Kevin. I mean, even 3 years ago, were cheater ramps a thing in games and modifying games? Like, this is like unthinkable.
Yeah,
What's going on?
I don't know what is happening. What's the bigger picture?
I think
trend
it's
here?
I think we talk about a mental health crisis in America, and I think this is pinball really showing it with cheater ramps. The evidence is creeping in.
I don't know. Yeah, like you said, we need to get better help as a sponsor as Buffalo Pinball. So
Yep.
we can.
I know we have
bring
at least one a couple psychologists that watch the show. So if you want to ping me and try to explain what's going on, happy to inform our viewers and listeners. Listen, having good fun with the cheaters. Kevin and I say you buy something, you do whatever you want. That's your prerogative. Our prerogative is to shit on cheater ramps. So no baby games, no cheater ramps here at Buffalo Pinball.
Yep. I'm gonna jump back to a troll comment in chat from Joystick Jedi. Says it blows me away that they piss on GTF and fawn over the P3. I love Buffalo Pinball, man. Well, we love you too, and I'll also draw some differentials between the two stories that we just had. So, Galactic Tank Force Signature Edition, a $16,000 game, versus the Birdwatcher, which is a $150 add-on game. Okay, these are not anywhere near comparable. You also have a one-man team bringing it to market versus this whole crew over here at American Pinball, and their marketing approaches are vastly different. Ian is donating a portion of the sales of his game, a Birdwatcher, to charity, to a nature charity. Let me see, he's got it here. The Nature Conservancy of Canada. I'm gonna guess that at your sales of Galactic Tank Force Signature Edition, none of that is going to charity. So, there's a little bit of difference here. And I am unabashedly, like, I not only are multimorphic partners of ours, we disclose that every month, but I'm a big fan. That's why I support them. That's why I choose to bring them in and elevate what they do, because I'm a big fan of what they do. So, I tend to support the companies that I like. They do the things I like. Those are the things that I kind of go with.
Yeah, so Kid Pinball says you guys need to give Bond another try. It has really come around. So, like, listen, I'm happy to play it more and see the updates. I always liked how Bond shoots, right? Like, there's something about that game and the design of the game that makes me want to play it. Right? I feel pulled in by it. Like, but from what I heard from people that I trust is that the game's just still a mess. Like, they've added a bunch of shit in there, but it's kind of like they've added a lot of like modes and stuff, but it's just nothing really comes together. There's a lot of stuff, but it's just like everything's the same. Just like shoot the shot. Like, you can say a game like Godzilla that really comes together with rules or Rush, and I just have no faith in Lonnie Ropp in creating a game other than like shoot the shot a million times. Like, my buddy Matt was over, our friend Matt was talking to me. He's a huge Bond fan, buys the game, and he's complaining about the game. They've added a bunch of stuff, but it's like, in the Q mode, you gotta shoot in that stupid scoop like 7 times, and it's gotta shoot it up, and you're stuck in it. Like, that's the kind of shit. Like, yes, you've added more to it, but does the stuff that you add to it, does that make it any better? Just because there's more stuff to it doesn't necessarily make it better. So happy to play, happy to give it a shot. I'm rooting for the game. Like I said, I like the design of it. I love the fact that there's a dong in it. That's fantastic. But I think this game's just a kind of a mess, unfortunately, and that's too bad, because I would have liked a Bond game. I think Bond's a cool theme.
Yeah, and to the point of Galactic Tank Force, when that got announced right here on this very podcast, I said I was interested in the theme, and I like a Dennis Nordman game, and I was considering it, but then it came out, and I played it, and we saw it having all sorts of issues at Pinbrew when we went, and I watched people trying to like fix the stand-up target with 3D printed supports and things like that. I'm like, I don't need that in my life. You couldn't plunge the ball because like the shooter rod was weird, and just there's so many red flags on that game, and the code had all sorts of issues. The reveal stream that they did, like the balls just kept getting stuck. It's like there's nothing there that was like, all right, I'm gonna take a shot on this game. Maybe down the line, if it's a game that takes a hit in value and I can get secondhand and it turns into a fun game, I would give it a second look. But what's there right now isn't appealing to me. And it's also the way they're marketing that signature edition was just so bad, such a red flag to me.
So back to Bond. Look, I read what the chat says, and I don't dismiss that, right? Like a lot of people are saying they like it. There's a lot more than like. Again, I'm happy to play it. Like that game's probably come down in value so much for the Pro that if I had room, I would probably buy it just to really spend a lot of time if I didn't talk about it intelligently. Because I do want to spend more time. I think the funny thing is like, oh, it's so much better. They added smart bombs, new modes, mode stacking. It's like, dude, yeah, of course it's better when it launched because it was a shell of a game. So psychologically, every time they add something, you're gonna be happy. It's gonna feel better. You know, we're finally getting to the point where you can almost judge it by what the game really is right now. But you know, you guys were so traumatized that every update you're salivating for, and they put a little thing in. It's like, oh my god, it's so much better. It's better. Yeah, of course it's better than when it first came out. How does it stack up to, you know, other games that are out? How does it stack up to Foo Fighters? How does it stack up to Venom? How does it stack up to, you know, I don't know what the last few games that got released, like Rush. I for what it's worth, I rather, if somebody said, Nick, would you rather have a Venom Pro or Bond Pro? I would pick Bond Pro. So there's that. If you say would you rather have a Foo Fighters Pro or a Bond Pro, I'd be tempted to say Bond Pro even. That doesn't mean that the game's good or doesn't have problems or I'm not going to dunk on it. But like I said, I am drawn a little bit to the game because I like how it shoots, and it's a game that I want to like, but I just think it's kind of a mess. I think it's kind of a mess.
I do wonder, like to your point about like the code updates and like how bare bones it was when it came out. Stern has definitely flipped the script on its perception as like with code support, and I wonder if it would behoove other manufacturers to like launch games with less code, even if they have it like ready to go, and then just over the course of like the next 6 months, just like release a code update every month, and then the Pinside community would be like, oh, look at this amazing code support. We've got new code every month, even though all along it's been finished, and they could just like manipulate the public into thinking they have this amazing code support, even though the end product would be what it would be anyways either way. So I don't know.
Listen, I'm listening to you guys in chat. There's a lot of people I respect, and I'm happy. Almost the prices are going up on it. People want. I'm looking on Pinside, 6,700 for Bond Pro. Oof. So I don't know.
What's funny too is like it always comes down to these are objective opinions. They're subjective opinions, and people think their opinion is objective. They're like, no, this game is way better than that other game, and if you don't agree with me, you're so dumb. Like, no, everybody likes different things. We've talked about this before. Not everybody likes the same movies. Not everybody likes the same video games. Not everybody likes the same thing in pinball. It's okay.
When I can spend time on but I like listen. I like when the chat tells me, hey, this you should look at it again. Like I did that with Led Zeppelin. So I did it with Led Zeppelin, not Black Knight. So again, I hope I get to spend some meaningful time on it because you gotta really dig into both games, both Venom and that. I don't know when I'm gonna get a chance to, but maybe in a few months.
Yeah, I actually kind of like Venom, and a lot of people don't. So, and I haven't played it a ton, and maybe at home it would lose its luster, but I enjoy playing that game. So I don't know.
It seems okay. What's like the Venom Pro? Is that like just?
Yeah, I haven't played the
Pro.
From that. The Pro is probably a stinker, but I like the Premium and LE. Those are fun. But they have some cool Max TM.
Yeah.
All right. You want let's take a trip and take a look back through the year. I figured it's the end of the year. We'll take a breath, take a look back. What did we get in 2023? So I went on Pinside and I loaded up the old list of games. And technically, Scooby came out this year. It was launched in December of 22, but we didn't actually get them until 23. So I'll include Scooby in there. We got Scooby, and then in January we got 007 60th edition, the $20,000 single level game. We got that. Then Foo Fighters, Cornerstone from Stern, so they got their Cornerstone out. Final Resistance came out for Multimorphic, a full playfield module from them. We got a Jersey Jack, The Godfather. Pulp Fiction got announced, but they haven't shipped any yet. Those are still kind of just hanging out there. Allegedly, they have like a production model built or whatever we reported last month, but we're still waiting on those to hit full production. Galactic Tank Force, we talked about that. Plenty of those to go around if you buy now, because you don't want to miss out on those. Ninja Eclipse, it's a prototype, so they're production planned. If you want a full price game for what looks like a home edition pinball machine, Ninja Eclipse might be for you. Oh, and also it doesn't take money. You have to use an app, so that's going to do great, I bet. We got Punny Factory. Finally, we got Punny Factory. They made like 3 of them, and then they fell apart, and the playfield's disintegrated. So good for them. This says they made 12 games, or they limited the engraved edition to 12. Okay. Space Hunt got announced. Remember that? We already forgot about Space Hunt. That got announced. Centaur. Haggis is going to make Centaur eventually, apparently. Man. Venom. We got Venom. We talked about that. Jurassic Park 30th edition. That got announced. A couple mini add-on games for the P3. Dungeon Door Defender. Drained Bite Size. Labyrinth came out hot. That's out on location and hitting locations. Got a new version of Alien. Elton John. We got our second JJP in 1 year. 1 calendar year. 2 in 1 year there. So, and we got another rerun of Era's House of Horrors, and most recently Birdwatcher for the P3. Nick, what are your thoughts on 2023? That seemed like a lot. Like
Great year,
when we stop and think about it, that's a lot of pinball.
Great year. That's my thought.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. Not everything's great in it, but a lot of pinball.
A lot of pinball. It made me wonder.
Godfather game of the year.
Oh, shoot.
For me. What's your game of the year? And we haven't played them all, so that's not fair. But I a lot of these things I haven't played Punny Factory, but something tells me that it would not be my game of the year. Might be the joke of the year. We can have a category for pinball joke of the year. We've got a bunch of those that would just be duking it out.
Yeah. I mean, as of the games I've played, I'd agree. Godfather. I haven't played Elton John yet. I'm curious to try that.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see. Venom is solid. And yeah, maybe Punny Factory will do. I mean, Pulp Fiction is really good too, but I don't know if we can actually count that as a game this year. Do you know if like in the awards it's going to be included? It seems like you shouldn't. You should wait till it's actually shipping.
Yeah.
Although a lot of people have played that at shows, so I don't know. Pulp Fiction's really fun. So yeah, solid year. It makes me wonder if this level of pinball is sustainable, especially in the current market. Like, do you think in 2024 we're going to see this many releases?
I'd be surprised if we did. So Black Belt Master is a question. Foo seemed to come in hot and then maybe level off popularity-wise. What do you guys think about it? Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Like, when I saw it, I was like, I like music pins. And when I first saw the stream, it's like, maybe I'll grab that. And then I saw Godfather and like 10 minutes of that. I was like, nope, I'm going to switch and buy that game. So Foo, like, again, I think it's like the layout's kind of interesting. It just doesn't do much for me. It's not a game I want. I think it's an okay game. Nothing amazing. Certainly not bad. So coming in hot and leveling off makes sense. I think there's excitement for it, and it's just like, it's not bad.
It's not going to have that level of passion that like something like a Godzilla would get. Anytime somebody's like, should I buy X, Y, or Z game or Godzilla? Everybody always says, just get Godzilla. You know what I mean? Like everybody loves that game. So I think Foo Fighters it's like a fun for a while kind of game, but people got over it. And that's true of most releases though too. Like games come out, people lose their minds, and then 6 months later something else comes out and they sell it to get that. You know what I mean? So
I think some games like there's just something special about this game.
Yeah. And
when you're, especially for me and Kevin who are buying games and collectors, there's games that are fun to play. We see them out on location and play them and then fine. But like, game has to have something special, and Foo Fighters doesn't feel like, there's something really special about it, right? That's the best way I can describe it for me.
Yeah. I agree.
Not that it doesn't have good things, not that it doesn't have clever things. It's just there's nothing that puts it in that category for me.
Agree. Yeah, it takes a lot to be like a top tier game.
Yeah,
and it's just and not every game's gonna do that.
Yep.
It does some interesting things. It does some cool things, but yeah, it's just not. It's not Godzilla level. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I thought this would be fun to show too. So if you've seen Spotify Wrap, they do it for podcasters too. So just at the end of the year, I thought this would be fun to kind of look back at what we've achieved with the podcast. And this is only from Spotify. This obviously doesn't include YouTube or anything like that. So our top episode of the year was number 79, where we talked about the reveal of Venom. That was kind of surprising to me. I thought maybe the one where we were in, was it May, when all the machines came out at once? I thought maybe that would be our top show, but the top episode was number 79 from a couple months ago. It was streamed 333% more than our average episode. We got a bunch of new fans. A lot of this is like, you have to take it in context too, because we didn't, like, I think people are starting to listen to more podcasts on Spotify in general. So it says 51% of our listeners discovered us in 2023, but I think maybe just more people started listening to the show over here instead of somewhere else. So number 76, though, the new Pinball Machine release episode was the one that got a lot of listeners over, but wasn't our most popular episode of the year. It's countries around the globe where we've been streamed. 15 countries. Let's see where it gives you the top ones. US, no surprise there. Australia, yep. There's a large pinball scene in Australia. Sweden and Germany. Shout out to our folks over there for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. So I think it shows like other things they listen to. Oh, these are the genres that listeners of our show listen to. So they listen to leisure, sports, and comedy. Not
sports.
Really a surprise there. Sport. Well, I guess sports is kind of a surprise. Nick's a big sports guy. This I thought was interesting. So the people that listen to a pinball podcast, also when they're listening to music, they like rock, number one. So that checks out. Pop, I guess that makes sense. And then rap is number 3. So there you go. So everybody's who's clamoring for a hip hop theme pinball machine, maybe it'll make sense. It's in the top 3 of genres. So this is like people who shared the podcast. 49% used the direct link, and 38 used text, and 13% used Facebook. So thank you for sharing our podcast. Continue to tell your friends about Bro, Do You Even Talk Pinball? 76, that was the one that got shared the most. I guess that makes sense because they said that was the one that brought the most new people over. So that all checks out. Thank you, Spotify. 4.6%. God damn it. Who ranked us less than a 5? We're coming after you.
Spooky fans.
It's all the Spooky fans.
Sons of bitches.
And the Galactic Tank Force owners, they downvoted us. So
all 2 of them.
Well, both of them came in.
Both of them came in hot.
Yeah, they only get 1 vote though, so sorry. 4.6 is still solid though, so we'll appreciate that. We appreciate that. Yeah, so this is like based on polls. On Spotify, you can publish polls after you post an episode. So I posted 4 this year, got 22 votes. I think a lot of people aren't doing this. All right, pop quiz time. Here we go. Which episode got the most audience engagement? Number 76, the new Pinball Machine Extravaganza. Number 78, the Wizarding World of Totally Chaotic Space Hunting. Or number 80, JJPT's CERN Vault, etc. Nick, which one do you think?
76. I mean,
76,
come on. They kind of just told us that.
I know, exactly.
Yay!
Correct. Oh, we did it.
How did we pull that off? Yeah.
We get a 5 from Joystick Jedi. All right, I like it. We turned the camera on. Yeah, we did. This was actually great because the Spotify allows you to upload video, and since we already do this as a video, I just started doing that, and then they automatically turn it into audio. So it made my life easier. So y'all if you want, you can watch us in video form on Spotify too. We were in the top 10% of most viewed podcasts on Spotify. I think probably just because not a lot of people do video. So thank you. Are you a gardener? We saw some nice growth. 28% growth in listeners, 47% in streams, and 43% in followers. Yeah. I appreciate that, Joystick Jedi, for the P3 comment, because yeah, I know it gets overlooked a lot, so that's why I like to include it. We're a top 10 podcast for 118 fans. Top 5 for 59. And I think it's like 12 for we're number 1. Yeah. Shout out to our top 12 fans. All right, thanks y'all. Basically, it's a way of saying thanks. But before we go, we have some prizes to give away. So if you haven't yet, hit hashtag win in chat, in the Twitch chat, type hashtag win. We'll give you another minute or two. While I just give you kind of an end of the year. I wanted to give an end of the year channel update. So I posted this in Discord. I know not everybody is in there. But for the Twitch channel in the year ahead, we're shifting things up a little bit. I will not be doing every Monday night on Twitch anymore. It's been like Nick and I have been doing this for 8+ years. When I stopped and I looked back, I was putting this message together. I was like, I wonder how many views we've gotten. We've gotten over 3 million views between Twitch and YouTube, which is pretty insane. That doesn't include all the downloads and listens to the podcast either. So we've done a lot. I've just gotten to the point personally where I don't feel like I need to be out there every Monday. But the plan is so that's changing. We're also ending the extended stream team. So like we were the first pinball channel to do a team thing, and we brought in Tuna and Austin and Rudy and Skip and everybody over the years, and STP Small Town is still with us through the end of the year. We're wrapping that up at the end of the year. The podcast will go on though, and so we'll be here every month. You know, life and family and time and work allowing. I will still stream occasionally. Like if I get a new pinball machine, or there's new P3 to stuff to show off, I'll be doing that. But just not every week. And we're still going to do bro shows, kind of on the same schedule we have for the past year or so, where, when we have something new to show, we'll get together, we'll play it for you, and then we'll stream it, and then we'll put it on YouTube. Nick, any thoughts on all that?
I mean, what Kevin's trying to say is that he hates all of you, and he's sick and tired of dancing like a monkey on Mondays for your amusement. So there you go.
Boom. There you go. Nick wrapped it up. No, it always, like, I talked to Tuna last year, because Tuna was in theory gonna stream with us this past year, and he only ended up doing a couple times. But I was like, the support is still there. I still enjoy doing it. I'll do it another year. This was at the end of 2022, and we'll see how it goes. And you do something long enough, and it's like, I think we've done what we've set out to prove in this area. We've had a lot of success, and we're going to keep doing it, just not to the insane schedule that we had been doing it. You know what I mean?
No. I mean, at the end of the day, it's I think we've always been quality over quantity.
Yeah. And
I never want to show up for a stream or a podcast and not be like totally engaged and loving what I do, because I wants to watch that. So I think we're crushing it on the podcast, and I saw a lot of like nice things in chat, so I appreciate that. I love the there's two hosts in Buffalo Pinball, but then there's like a guest as like the third person or entity, and that's certainly the chat. And I read everything as much as I can. I love the engagement, try to address the questions. So you guys absolutely crush it. I love this show in this format, and I love what we do live with the chat and engaging with it. I think we got something special. So 110%, which is totally math, committed to the podcast. And like Kevin said, just to reiterate, the Bro Show doesn't go away. It's like we've done like every pinball machine in existence. I'm kind of like, that's not true, but we've done a ton of them. So we'll try to always bring new ones, and we'll try to bring the energy to making high quality, good shows. So
yeah,
that will continue.
Yep. The other thing, like we were 8 years younger when this started, and our lives were in different places. Like my son's getting ready to go to college, and we're looking at universities and going, he's playing soccer every weekend because he wants to play soccer in college. And like, we got new jobs, and Nick's traveling a lot more. So it's just like life changes, and the stream and the podcast is going to change along with it. And, we're still planning on being there and sharing our because at the end of the day, this is our hobby, right? We love doing this, and we love sharing it with you guys. So that's what we're going to keep bringing that.
So I see a nice, I saw somebody said, I'd like to see more game reviews. I love it. I'm with you, man. It kind of sucks that we've not been able to put out as many game reviews, but I think Kevin and I definitely care about the quality of the game reviews, and it's just like we've done impressions like on games, but we haven't played it enough of like the new games to really do a legit review. So like we could do a legit review when we buy a game, But the games that we just bought, like Godfather, like I could do a killer review on Godfather, but we don't review JJP games because they're a sponsor, and it's weird to review a sponsor's game, right?
Right.
I'd love to review Venom, but I have not spent enough time to do it justice, and I know that our reviews are people place some stock into it, so I don't want to just do a review. I know it will generate views and stuff, so I don't know what the answer to that is. But when we do feel like we spend enough time, we will do a review, even though it might be later. So maybe one day we can do a great review of Venom. We've spent at least several hours on it, or feel like we really understand it. But yes, noted. I appreciate the feedback. You're absolutely right. Hopefully we can do that, but we will at least always do impressions and breakdowns, which I think it's something. I think impressions are important, and I think Kevin and I at least have enough experience that we can spend a minimum amount of time on the game and kind of do a pretty decent job in guiding people. And there's no better endorsement for a game than a game that Kevin and I own or have in our collection.
Yeah, because it's like those are the top tier games. Those are the games that really connect with us. And I think our audience is smart enough to know, like, obviously I like the P3 and we like JJP, and it's like, so you have an inherent bias no matter who you are, right? You know what I mean? Like, I love Tron, so I'm never going to sell my Tron machine. You know what I mean? If whatever next game comes out is a Dream theme, I'm probably going to buy it, and I'm going to be biased towards it because that's something I really connect with. If they make a Goonies machine or whatever, you know what I mean? That something that I have this nostalgia for is going to be a pull. But the good thing is we have a very intelligent audience that kind of look at the 8 years we've been doing this. You've been along with us for the ride. You know where we land on things. If you're on one side or the other, you can draw your conclusions based on the angles we approach things from. And I think you guys do a good job of that. So, all right, ready to pick some winners?
Let's do this.
Right,
so again, we're giving away a Bond Translite courtesy of Flippin' Out Pinball, Zach Menny. The only place I would ever consider buying a pinball machine from.
All right, so the first one is going to be for the Jurassic Park player mat. All right,
Oh,
so
the player mat, okay.
Gray Bear Rules. Gray Bear Rules, are you in chat? Do you accept?
You accept a $90 mat from Stern.
$90 mat for free. If you're in the U.S., shipping is included and everything. Hopefully they're here. We'll go ahead and draw.
Yeah,
Draw the second
we'll
one.
give Great Bear Rules a moment, and let's draw the next one. All right.
Yeah. Mr. Mike Man, I know he's around. He's another fellow P3 enthusiast. Mr. Mike Mann wins the Stern Pinball 007 Translate. So I'll reach out to them for their winning entries. And then if for some reason, so I have Mr. Mike Mann, he's good.
You're good.
If for some reason Gray Bear says he doesn't want it, then we can rerun that on another show. But I'm guessing he's going to be good with that. So, all right, y'all. The Rexer Show. If you are, if you're watching on YouTube, you gotta jump in the Twitch chat for these. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to pull in winners from YouTube yet, but maybe we'll get there. That brings us to another year of Brody Even Talk Pinball. Any parting words for everybody, Nick?
Absolutely. Don't cheat in pinball. Whether that's doing nefarious things during a game or just putting cheater ramps in, don't cheat. Buffalo Pinball's anti-cheating. Thank you guys as always. I again, what makes this really fun is the chat interaction for this. We all get to come together and talk pinball and have some fun and joke around and hopefully help each other. So love it. Hope you guys have a good holiday, and we'll catch you next time. Kevin, anything from you?
Yes, we have an episode of Topper Talk coming. So
Oh my God.
Christmas has arrived early. It's a holiday miracle.
I thought you had an issue with Gorin, though.
I do. I'm about to say. So we
Okay,
have another
all
episode of Topper Talk. So you know with Topper Talk, he says Nick and Kevin give me 3 to 5 minutes to talk about toppers. This episode is 2.5 minutes. It's not even 3 minutes. Nick Gorin, we said 3 to 5 minutes. Is that the least you can do? Is 3 minutes? Okay, that's all we ask.
Is he phoning it in?
He's phoning. I think he might be phoning it in.
He's big timing us.
All right. Well, he did tell us at IAPA he was getting recognized as the Topper Talk guy. So we've brought in that level of recognition into Goran's life. If you see Goran, give him a high five. Tell him thank you for all the years of Topper Talk. Keep them coming. We have two in the bank here. So this one, and you're guaranteed another Topper Talk next month. Beyond that,
if you see Goran in the wild, get a picture of him and send it to us. We love seeing that.
Yeah, Topper Talks with Goran photos.
If it's framed, even better.
Happy holidays! Thank you for all the kind words in chat. We appreciate it, and we'll see you in the new year. Bye, y'all.
It's Topper Talk with Goran right now. Let's all have some fun. This is about plastic on top of your pin. Go and buy one now. There's a topper here and a topper there. Here a topper, there a topper, everywhere a topper. It's critical to the gameplay experience. You must buy one now. It's your monthly fill of toppers right now. Topper Talk with Goran. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Topper Talk with Goran, the part of the podcast where Kevin and Nick give me about 3 to 5 minutes to talk about everything happening in the very active and profitable Topper community. Today we'll be talking about the topper for the brand new Labyrinth pinball machine from the brand new pinball company, Barrels of Fun. So let's head into the office and talk about that now. Okay, so here we are in the office, so let's dive right into this topper. We're looking at the animated goblin topper for the Labyrinth pinball machine from Barrels of Fun. Now, for those who need a refresher, Barrels of Fun was the mystery pinball company that came out of nowhere and made a big splash with their fantastic-looking Labyrinth pinball machine. Now, not only did they release the pinball machine, they also announced multiple accessories for the game, including this topper, which is available for pre-order right now and will ship in January. So if we look at this topper, it features 3 of the goblins from Labyrinth, and I think it's so well done. The sculpts look great, the hair looks great. It's something different from the toppers that we typically see. This truly breaks the mold, I think, for toppers currently. Their heads move, there's interactive lighting, it fully integrates with the game. We have a video down below that we can check out briefly for what it does. It just looks great on top of the game. It flows really well with the overall art package. The movement looks great, the light up eyes look great. I wish the mouths moved, but that's okay. The lights flash in sync with the audio. And from a price standpoint, it's $950, which, don't get me wrong, I mean, that's expensive for any pinball accessory. But when you look at the overall topper pricing nowadays, that's a reasonable price for something that's truly different and I think looks really great on top of the game. So job well done all around to the Barrels of Fun team. I can't wait to see what you come up with next. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Topper Talk. Tune into the next podcast for another episode. And as always, get out there and buy a topper. Thank you for coming to my Topper Talk.